Ball out, Pro Bowl, Tony Romo. 40-yard dash, boy, don't be slow-mo. Get on the court, boy, I may go. Outside in the sun like Elliot Kobo. I'm running fast, LA de la Cruz. Turn on the JAFFos, get my news. 7FL doing good, how I knew. All-Pro JAFFos, the All-Pro, jumps off sports. They speak facts, you talk smack, you get sacked. Come tune in, sit in chat. What sport you like, they speak all that.
Hey, yo, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 6th-year anniversary show of the All-Pro JAFFos, bringing you the highly elevated sports talk for the highly elevated sports fan. You guys know me, the bad guy, your host, JP, alongside me, the greatest DJ of all time, Mr. DJ Mad Six. You guys know him from the family, from the Mizzle and Dub show, Mr. Dub Alvarez himself. And making his annual visit to the All-Pro JAFFos, and it was San Jose State gear, and it was Arizona Wildcats gear, and now we have the newest head coach of the Sacramento State Hornets. Hornets up, big Hornets up is what we're doing now.
Big stinger.
Big Hornets. Big Hornets. Oh, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, please
you got the picture with me, the regular stinger.
Well, I didn't have one with the regular.
It's all right. It's all right. They both count. I don't want, we got them both, but we big stinger. We celebrate. Celebration.
Everybody, please welcome back to the show an all-time great for us, Coach Alonzo Carter. Coach Zoe, welcome back. Appreciate you taking the time. It's always great to have you on the show. New head coach for Sac State. You're making the travel a whole lot easier for us, so we appreciate that to be able to get to the games.
VIP, man.
Yeah. Can't wait. Got plenty of times to be able to get down and watch some MAC football now.
Yeah.
Sac State making the move. They were trying to do it these last few years, but finally getting the move with probably the best coach to be able to do it with. Coach, when you guys got the news and everything to get into the MAC, moving into the FBS, I know for an FCS school that's a really big thing. Moving into or what they would call the big time is always a big thing. So what was the entire environment like? One, when you first walked into the building, and then two, when you guys found out that you're now a member of the MAC conference.
Well, it's special. Our president, Dr. Luke Wood, with his vision, along with Mark Orr, our athletic director, they had a vision. They had a plan prior to me coming here to making this go from FCS to FBS. And a lot of people, questioning and doubted where it was going to happen. And for them to be able to complete this vision and make history, let's get this in perspective. This is historical. We'll be talking about this forever. Our kids will be talking about this. So for them to be able to carry out a vision that they had, as far as just as an administrative team, I couldn't ask for a better group of men to work with. When they interviewed me, I just wanted to be here. I wanted to be at Sac State, whether it be FCS, FBS, it didn't make a difference to me. I just knew it would be a great fit for me. And I just felt the vibe. I felt the love. And then, you buy into the vision. We buy into it together. We're in this together. We're connected. We'll be always connected. I'm the first FBS football coach in the history of Sacramento State football. And that means a lot. I carry that as a badge of honor. And then ironically, we do it on Black History Month. So, you got a chance to do some things that are historical. You get a chance to share it with your players, with the Sacramento community. You get a chance to share it with the alumni, which I am so excited for because they laid the foundation. I got a chance to see Coach Volick this weekend, which is one of the ones that in the 90s when I met him, along with Coach Angus McClure, which is on my staff now as an alumni, and Johnny O was playing here. He's on my staff, so I got alumni on my staff, Otis Amy, Bobby Frescus, those guys are excited. They laid a true foundation for this football program. And I'm just excited to be able to do my part and bring something different to the table, as far as being in the MAC. It's never been done. It's thinking out of the box. Like I said, hats off to our president for even having the thought process to even be able to be bold enough to put our program out there like that. And I'm excited. I'm enjoying it. I'm soaking it all in. It's very humbling. I'm very just like I'm a big thinker. I put things in perspective, and just who would have known 10 years ago I've been able to have this opportunity when I was sitting in that very stadium, in that Hornet Stadium, looking out, saying one day I wanted to be the head coach here. And here I am. I'm very thankful. I have some great mentors and people that helped me along the way. Most recently, in Coach Brent Brennan, which I've been with the past 9 years. And you guys know what we did at Sac State, just laying that whole foundation and the growth of the program, and then been able to be with him the last 2 years at University of Arizona. I'm just very thankful to have him as a person that I can lean on and get advice from and go through this process, and just all the numerous coaches I'm able to call, being a member of the National Coalition for Minority Football Coaches. I have a Rolodex that's just really long, whether it be Marvin Lewis, Hugh Jackson, Willie Simmons, Tremaine Jackson at PV, Jerry Mack, Coach of the Year, at Kennesaw, Mike Loxley himself. So just a lot of people that I'm able to call and reach out and talk to. And I'm just thankful, man. And big shout out to Tim Skipper over at Cal Poly. That's my brother. He looked out for me, and I'm excited for him as well. But we're going to do some big things over here. We just building this program the way it needs to be built. I have a great alignment with the administration, and it's just exciting to be able to work along with some people that see the vision and they get it. Sometimes you with administrative teams and they don't get it. These guys get it. That's why you see over my shoulder, I got my Black Panther in the back. Big shout out to Sac State alumni, Mr. Ryan Kugler. Keep doing what you're doing with the movie Sinners. Doing your thing. We're real proud of you, but he's a Sac State alumni. And we the Avengers, man. We're trying to put this thing together. We're trying to make this thing go. So I'm excited, man. I'm very humble. I'm very thankful. I'm very blessed. And I'm going to have fun in it with this. I mean, embrace the moment. You know how I am. My personality is my personality. I try to be real. I try to keep it authentic. And I'm just very grateful to be able to sit in this seat.
And it's been awesome being able to kind of be outside looking in, watching this whole thing. I mean, we've been blessed to be able to have this relationship with you for these last, about 5 years, 6 years, I want to say. And I mean, the fact that you just mentioned your Rolodex, and the fact that I'm able to text you and ask me, hey, coach, you want to be on the show, and get a reply back, like, that's cool with me. I'm all right with that.
Yeah, you lucky. I got, for anybody, I apologize right now. I got 1,900 unread text messages. So if you called to congratulate me or thank me, I am not trying to ignore your calls. It's just been so much love. Just so much overwhelming joy. All my friends, my peers, being from Oakland, what can I say? This is home. I've got a lot of friends that have genuinely showed me love. My family, couldn't do it without my family. I'm just very thankful and blessed to be able to be in this seat. And I just don't mean to leave nobody out. It's not on purpose. It's just that I'm swimming, man. I'm down here swimming. I'm trying to get through these first few months. And then when you add the MAC on top of it, it just oh man, just when I thought I can come up, I got to swim some more. But I'm having fun with it. I have a great staff. We're working together. We tirelessly putting in the work, making sure that we're molding this football program to get ready to be FBS ready.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and so can you kind of take a little bit of kind of like a step-by-step of the process of you having the conversations with Sac State? Like, when did that kind of start, and to kind of make itself to the point where you are now the head coach of Sac State? Like, when did the kind of conversations start, and at what point was like you got the news and it's like, all right, we're ready to go to work?
Well, it's surprising because, Brennan Marion, which is a friend of mine, was the head coach here. He had only been here 1 year, and signing day had just passed. They had another great class in the FCS, number one recruiting class in the FCS. So shout out to Brendan Marion and his staff. They did a great job of putting a great class together. And then maybe I want to say 3 or 4 days after signing day, he ended up being blessed with an opportunity to go to University of Colorado. So when he stepped down, it was kind of surprising to everybody. And, I was like, oh, okay, this opportunity is open again. I had put in for it before and, and lost to some very good coaches, Troy Taylor, Andy Thompson, as well as Brendan Marion. All those guys were great coaches. They did a great job. They laid a great foundation. So I said this time, I think I'm going to go for it one more time, with the blessings from God, just focused in and locked in on what I could put together, what kind of staff could I simulate to be able to make it Sac State ready. What would be the perfect staff? What would be like I said, the Avengers? Who can I put together? What type of dream team can I piece together to make this work? And the first call I made was to Angus McClure, alumni. I like Angus McClure. He's an alumni. He's a finalist. He's somebody I respect, somebody that I knew I wanted to coach with. And to get him to say yes, then my next call was to Johnny O. Like, Johnny O, you alumni. Come on, man. Let's do this together, because both of those men I had a lot of respect for, because they were finalists for the jobs. And I figured if I can get them on the same staff with me, we can put some things together. And then I reeled in Otis Amy. Like, come on, man. I know you're already close to the program. You're one of the most famous alumni they have. So I wanted them to be part of this. And Bobby Frescus, which was already on the staff, I told him, hey, I want you to be part of this. So that was the biggest thing, just getting people that I knew understood what Sac State football was about the program, the community, getting people that believed in Sac State. And those men believe in Sac State. So they were important to me. And when I got a chance to talk with Mark Orr and Dr. Luke Wood, I just sold my vision. My vision matched their vision, and we were able to come together, and it happened pretty quick. Hats off to them and his, Andy Fiss and Brian Berger. Those guys are doing a great job of just making this process go fast, but at the same time being diligent with picking the next head coach. And there were some very good candidates, and I'm very thankful and very blessed to get the job and get the opportunity to talk to the men and sell my vision for the program. And it was exciting. It was a little nerve-wracking because I didn't know what was going to happen. I wasn't promised anything. I just went into it full steam ahead, knowing that it was my time. I just felt like it was my time. God has blessed me with a lot of opportunities and opened a lot of doors for me. And I just felt like this was the door that he opened for me, is to say, this is the job. This is the opportunity, because there's been other opportunities that I wanted that didn't quite go the way I thought they should have went. But this time I felt like, with the blessings from God, this one's going to work. And I had a plan, and it was a little different than the original plan, but this plan was one that I felt would be solid and would be just all about the logo, all about Sac State, all about the program, all about the community, all about the, my vision for having a director of player development, which I wanted that pro style model. I wanted to be the CEO of a program. And you take that CEO mentality and surround yourself with people like Johnny O and Otis Amy and Angus McClure. And then I hired Eric Keesaw, Power 5 offensive coordinator. I have Adam Clark, another veteran defensive coordinator, Milo Alston, a veteran special teams coordinator. So I wanted to hire people that have done the job before, and hire people that was about the job, and people that knew me and that believed in the vision of the program and believed in my vision. So I felt I put together a very, very good staff, people that can recruit California, and most importantly, love on young men and teach them how to go from young men to being men. That was the biggest thing I wanted to do. I wanted great teachers. I wanted people that I felt can relate to the players, especially in this era. It's a whole different era with the portal and all this stuff. So I wanted people that can retain the roster, because the roster retention was important to me, making sure that players that stayed wanted to be here. We had some that left, good luck to them, but the ones that were in the portal and got out of the portal, and chose to stay, like a Jamar Curtis and Derek Houston, those guys chose to believe in the program and the vision of the program. And we want people that love Sac State. We want people that believe in what we're trying to do. And like I said, at the time there was no conference. We was FCS independent, and you fast forward a month later, here we are FBS, not only FBS program, we in the MAC. We're in the group of 5 conference. So we're along with same like San Jose State, San Diego State, Fresno State, Sacramento State. We in a group of 5, just like everybody. Well, group of 6 now, because the Pac-12 is now part of that. So we're FBS football program, and we playing at the highest level. And we plan on taking this program to the next level.
I can't wait to see it, because I know you've stated it before. You've been press galore. You've been everywhere these last few months. That's one of the reasons I was like, I let Coach do his thing. I don't want to. I'll just congratulate him.
Man, come on, man. I'm a regular.
Well, I understood, but
it
I
wouldn't feel right, man. It wouldn't be right. You probably got a whole photo shoot. You can put together a collage of all the different photos we've taken together, and you guys have been supportive my whole career. And once you reached out to me, I said, when? You said tonight. I was like, all right, man, for you, I'll do it. Got me working a little overtime. But
I appreciate. I know you got a little bit more business to get to later tonight too. So again, I do really appreciate the time. But now, when you got into the building, obviously, welcome Coach Zoe, the whole press conference and everything like that. Now you're in the building and you're talking with coaches and now the players. The first message. I mean, we've heard no block, no rock. We've heard all. Everything that you bring to the table as not just a coach, but just as a genuine human being. So when you got into that, that position to be able to talk to the players, like, what was your initial reaction? What was the response from them? Like, what was the feeling in the room that day when you finally got to address the team?
Well, prior to me getting to see them in person, I got hired on Christmas break, so I was only able to address them twice on a Zoom call. So I did get to address them, and I kind of laid the foundation. So once they got back, they knew who they were getting, my authentic self. But my biggest message has been process over outcome. We're going to focus on the process. We're not going to worry about the outcome. We're not going to worry about 6 months from now, a year from now, 2 years from now. We're going to worry about right now. And the process is what we're going to focus on. And then I came up with a new mantra, green line. What is green line? Just like we had red line, blue line. Now we got green line. It's something that just effort, 100 effort, 100 miles an hour, 100% of the time. I'm going to carry that with me. And then another mantra is prove it. Everybody want to talk about how good of a football player they are. Okay, prove it. Let's go on the football field and prove it. So about the way you do that is you focus on the process. I think the process is something that a lot of players, they want to see instant success. What's right now, they kind of can't see the vision. So you got to kind of get them to buy into your vision. And I think the players seen that from me from day one. I'm not in awe of anything. I'm very thankful to have worked with some great people along the way. I've been able to get mentored, like I say, by some of the best, whether it be Anthony Lynn, Hugh Jackson, Marvin Lewis. Those are guys they've been at the top. Herman Edwards, guys that have been at the top. Mike Tomlin, these are my heroes. These are people that you look up to, and you get a chance to talk to them. Get a chance to talk to a guy like Marcus Freeman. Marcus Freeman is somebody that I lean on for advice. With Eddie George and Lance Taylor, they're in the MAC. Thomas Hammock was in the MAC. I was just with him last week. Cut a deal real quick with the Seahawks. But I get a chance to talk to them guys. They gave me some, valuable information on what this is about. And then one of my best friends in the coaching business is Willie Simmons, at FIU, in the job he's done down there. He's somebody that I lean on a lot. Him and Tremaine Jackson over at Prairie View. Those are two men that I talk to a lot about their first year, about their journey, about they went from FCS, to FBS. Willie did, and then Tremaine went from Division II to FCS, and they've had success. So I was able to talk to them a lot and just get pick their brain and see what makes them work. Chennis Berry, another one. South Carolina State, Trey Olivero in North Carolina Central. All those guys, man, they give me a lot of insight, because they kept telling me, be patient, your time gonna come. Your time gonna come. And I want to thank them, guys like Charles Huff in Memphis. He was somebody that I kind of patterned myself behind. I seen him be a running back coach and become a head coach. So, I watched his journey from Alabama to Marshall to Southern Miss, now at Memphis. He was somebody I called. Same thing with Eddie George, watching him go from playing running back, Tennessee State to Bowling Green, just people that you can really talk to and they can be them authentic self and give you advice on how this process can go. And I'm just thankful, man, that I've got a chance to just meet so many people along this journey that are unselfish and just share information and kind of show me the way. And even on my last staff with Coach Brennan and Danny Gonzalez, they were so excited for me. They were, you got two head coaches that are giving you, all this information. I sat next to Danny Gonzalez in our staff meetings, and him being a former head coach at University of New Mexico and one of the top defensive coordinators in the country, I got a chance to hear that. Him and Seth Dagey, our OC, I got a chance to see it every day. I got a chance to see them men compete and take our program to another level. So I got a chance to take a lot of mental notes and just, it got me prepared. And, when Coach Brennan was like, hey, man, you got to go. You got to take this. It's time for you. It's your time. And he was very supportive. I appreciate him and our AD, former AD, Desiree. She made the call for me as well. U of A, I just owe them a lot just for the support that they gave me when it's time for me to take the job. So everything I learned along the years, and let's not get it twisted. I've been a head coach before. I was a head coach at Contra Costa Junior College. I was a head coach at Berkeley High School. I was a head coach at McClymonds High School. Those different journeys prepared me for this. Being able to climb up that ladder, each level prepared me. But these last few years with Coach Brennan, he knew my goals. He knew what I wanted to do. So being assistant head coach, I really wore that title, and I took it with pride. And with Coach Dagey and Coach Gonzalez as coordinators, they, watching them work every day, man, it was fantastic because they set a bar and a standard for me of how I wanted my coordinators to be. Coach Niver, our special teams coordinator, just watching them three men work every day, it made me go, when I get my opportunity, I want to do it just like that. And, I have a lot of close friends. And then big shout out to Coach McGiving, at San Jose State, my other coordinator, and Derek Odom. He's now at Utah. He's a defensive coordinator. I work with him at San Jose State as well. So I had some great people that I work with, a lot of people that have my back, a lot of people that encourage me. And I'm just thankful to be able to sit in the seat.
It's just been, again, just watching the ride and watching how everything has kind of gone. And we've heard your story, basically the times that you've been with us, from the first time where you basically gave us the whole beginning, and then we're getting chapters every time, and each chapter of this book is just getting more and more and more entertaining.
I got a memoir. I've been writing on it. It's therapeutic. I have a memoir that I have written, and I was ready to put it out a few years ago, and everybody was like, no, you got to wait. You got to wait till you get that head coaching opportunity. So I need to add some pieces and get it caught up. But I'm just thankful, man. It's just my life. I want to be an example for the next Alonzo Carter. I want to be an example for the next 17-year-old father from Oakland that didn't have a father figure in his life growing up. Mother raised 4 children on her own by the age of 21. And when you graduate from high school at 17 years old, and you got a son that you have as a 17-year-old, who's your role model? Who are the people you looking up to? So you kind of learning on the go, and you write your own story. And that same son that I had at 17, he's also a college graduate of Cal State, East Bay. I went to Cal State Hayward. I don't know. He got the same feel that I used to take him to practice, and he watched me. I got a chance to watch him graduate in that very same stadium. It was a surreal moment, a blessing for me. Then I come back later on and graduate from Cal State East Bay. They changed the name on me. But just to watch my son, to be a father to my son and see him become who he's become, and then be a CSU graduate like myself. And then my daughter, she's a CSU graduate, Alana Carter. She graduated from Cal State Northridge. And then my other son, Anthony Carter, he graduated from UC Berkeley. And then my stepson, Malachi Miller, he graduated from San Jose State. So just to have education be in the forefront in my life, and you intertwine sports with it, you know, that's the recipe. You know, you got guys like Yahya Abdul-Mateen, you know, he's all over the TV as well. I'm so proud of him. Watching guys like Yahya and Ryan Coogler, those guys are, you know, you talking two brothers, you talk about a Cal grad, you talking about a Sac State grad, then Ryan goes to USC and gets his master's in film and all this stuff. So education can open up doors, and it can give you an opportunity to go places that you can't. So through education and sport, if you want to mix that in it, you use that to get you a degree and change your life. It can be life-changing. So education changed my life. Education saved my life. And even look at our president, Dr. Luke Wood. You know, how many Black presidents of universities that we have? You know, when you got a combination of Dr. Luke Wood and Mark Orr, African-American athletic director, myself, Alonzo Carter, African-American football coach, and let's not forget about Mike Bibby, you know, our African-American basketball coach. So he's been very welcoming to me. The whole staff, everybody, all the sports, men and women, has been so great, and the community has been so great. I'm so thankful to just the open arms for the administration and just all the faculty and just everybody in the community, the alumni. I mean, it's just been a blessing to be here in Sacramento, and I'm very thankful.
It's like I said, it's and when that memoir comes out, I'm definitely reading that.
Yeah,
We got
it's
to get a
deep,
signed copy
man.
too. That's what we got to
Deep,
get.
man. It's deep. It goes from when I was 6 years old to now. So I got a good memory. So I gotta,
Definitely got to be
pretty
reading that when that
therapeutic
comes.
to talk about.
You gotta wait till write that final chapter till you get that NFL
Yeah, I
head coach
gotta,
position.
you know, I'm playing around with it a little bit. You know, I want people to really get to know who Alonzo Carter is, you know, and what's my why, you know, why I move the way I move. I want to be a role model. You know, I want to be the best version of myself, and I want to be the example for other young men and women that feel like when things get adverse and you're ready to give up and you just can't see, you know, you see the light at the other end of the tunnel, there's always a hope factor. That's what I call it. You got to have a hope factor. You got to believe in yourself. You got to believe in God. You know, you have to always put God first, and just give yourself an opportunity to do something that people think you can't. Never let somebody tell you what you can't be or what you can't do, because that's been the motivation in my life. You know, just being told what I couldn't be, or possibly the odds are stacked against me. And I'm continuing to learn. I'm continuing to grow. I know people look up to me in a way like, oh, he's arrived. No, I'm still growing. I'm still learning. I'm a student of the game, and I'm still living life. I'm still learning people. I'm still trying to be the best version of myself. And I got some ways to go.
I mean, the continuous growth. I've always said that the wisest human beings on the planet are the ones who continue to learn no matter what age they are.
100%.
So that's awesome to hear. So now you talked a little bit about, you know, adversity and people not thinking you can do it and stuff, and that is still kind of taking place here at Sac State. Now with that move to the MAC, you got people who are going, oh, how are they going to do it? They're the only West Coast team, and that the travel schedule is going to be insane. The move itself has some people in certain circles and they talking like, oh, I don't know if this was a good idea. This money could have gone here. This could have gone that. But with all that noise, I know you're very good at blocking it out. But with said adversity, how do you combat it? How do you look at it and go, okay, I see what everybody else is saying, but here's what you don't see, and this is what we're going to do?
Well, like I said, my opening remarks, when you have, in my opinion, the administrative dream team, Dr. Luke Wood and Mark Orr, you know, standing on the forefront, and all our faculty has been so supportive. That gives you hope. That gives you a chance because they believe in the vision of the program. They believe in the vision of not just the football program, but all of athletics. All the other sports would be in the Big West as well. So they'll be playing FBS sports as well. But when you move to the MAC, people keep forgetting. Yes, you get 8 conference games, but 4 they got to come out here too.
Yep.
We're not on the road for 8 games. We got 4 home games and 4 away games. Well, then we go to Montana State, Idaho State, Eastern Washington. I mean, there was some travel involved in that stuff. No, it wasn't as far, but it still was travel involved. So those teams got to come to West. They got to come West too. So it's a very good football conference. It's very good football being played. I coached against Western Michigan twice. I coached against Ball State. I've coached against Eastern Michigan. So I know what that conference is about. It's very, very good football. And we're going to have to be able to be at our best. This is not no walk through the park. There is travel. We do got to go there, but they also got to come west too. So we're expecting the challenges. We understand the challenges. We know in November it turns into the MACtion Tuesday, Wednesday night games, which will be the only ticket in town. I'm used to watching those games. Now we'll get to be part of those games. So we get it. We know all those challenges, but you know where I'm from, man. Come on, man.
We know the deal.
You know how I'm built. Do I need to remind people where I'm from, man? I need to remind y'all from Oakland, California. Ain't nothing easy down over there. This is about an hour and a half away, but that's how we built. We built different. And like I say, I'm blessed. I pray every night. I'm a very spiritual person, and I'm a very thankful person. I'm a very humble person. I'm a very grateful person. But we're not going to worry about the outcome. I told you, we just going to focus on the process. And as long as we focus on our process and I have the support that I've been given so far, I'm just grateful and thankful. And I'm going to lead these men, and we're going to go out here and play football. We're going to go out here with me and my staff that I've simulated. I'm very confident in the coaches and the support team behind us that we've simulated just to make sure that we're able to do what we do. We got a Power 5 strength coach in Marco Candino coming from Oregon State. He's lights out right now, getting us prepared. So I'm excited about the future and the vision for Sacramento State football. And I just can't thank them enough, with Dr. Luke Wood and Mark Orr's vision. I'm aligned with them. We in this together, I got his back. I got their back. I know they behind me 100%, and I'm behind them 100%. So we're gonna stay aligned, and we're gonna block out all that noise, which is hard. I'm not gonna lie, it's a lot. It's a lot of noise. It's pretty loud. But we can, I'm gonna just throw on my earbuds. When it get too loud, I throw my earbuds on. Throw me on some gospel music or something. and just block them out. I'm not gonna let that get to me. I gotta be me. I gotta be the best version of myself.
And I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that at all. You always have been the best version of yourself and everything. So, Dub, you have anything? Any questions or anything for him?
Well, first off, happy anniversary, JAFFos.
Yeah,
number one.
I'm on an anniversary show. Yeah.
Number two, Coach Carter, good to see you again and again. Congratulations on the huge opportunity for you. I guess if I had a question, what was it about Sacramento State that made you feel like this is the perfect opportunity? This is where I need to be to take that step in becoming a head coach. What was it about Sac State that felt like this is the right fit for me?
Oh man, that's easy. Location, sleeping giant. Sacramento is right here in the middle of everything. You in the mix, man. You got Sacramento in itself, just in Sac, just the talent in Sac itself, going all the way up to Folsom, and you keep going up, in the Butte area, then you go up to Eureka. You can go all the way up there. You can find players. You can go to Dixon. You can even sneak over there in Davis and pluck a couple of their guys. There's players everywhere. Elk Grove. There's players everywhere around Sacramento, Rockland, Roseville. There's a lot of players in the Thomas area. It's so many players in Sacramento itself. And then when you slide on down to Vacaville and Fairfield, and then you get into Vallejo and Richmond,
Valley Joe.
you know what I'm saying? Then you get to Berkeley, and then you hit that bay, you hit Oakland. Oh man, I'm at home. You get to hit all that. And then the whole East Bay, Hayward, Pittsburgh, Concord, the 680, the 580, the 80. Come on, man, there's talent all around there. And then we ain't even talked about the South Bay. We ain't even talked about San Francisco, San Marin, Santa Rosa. Come on, man, those players. We got players that have come from those areas. And then if you want to go to Central, you start off in Tracy. Well, excuse me, Mountain House, Tracy, Stockton, Merced, Modesto, Fresno, Bakersfield. Come on, man. And you ain't done there. Then you gotta go to LA Valley. And then you go down to the south. I'm giving y'all too much of my recipe. We gonna hit the whole state. LA, San Diego, Orange County, IE. Come on, man. You got
especially Northern California area,
all,
the Valley.
the peninsula. It's players all up in California. So you got to know where to find them, and you got to have relationships. I think that's the key. The relationships I've built along the years. And then let's not get it twisted. Sac State is a national brand. And then when you go to the MAC, we can recruit nationally now. But most importantly, right here in California, who knows better? Who knows California better than me? I'm homegrown. I'm built for this. I used to drive my kid. I used to get my kids from Oakland, get in a 15-passenger van. We would drive out when Coach Volek was the coach and Angus was coaching, and they would have the truck shooting the little, coming out with the smoke, running out the tunnel. I remember that, man. And I coached Morris Norris, which was an all-conference wide receiver here. I coached Brandon Smith, which was an all-conference cornerback here. So I have players play here at Sac State, and I was able to be a fan and a coach, and here I am now being the head coach. Just being able to go over and watch. Even when I was coaching Junior Olympic track, AC Track Club, the Junior Olympics was hosted right outside on the track at Sac State. So I was here as a coach, high school coach. Now here I am as the head football coach on the very same field that I used to come and watch players play and come to the coaches clinic. Used to get my corn dog from a little, snack bar on the side, all those little food trucks and all that stuff. So I remember coming here as a coach and as a fan and being able to say one day, if I was here, this is what I would do. Well, that one day is here. I've been blessed with that one day, and I'm here, and we're gonna share this vision together with the AD and the president, and we're gonna see this thing become what we think it could be, an elite FBS football program, just because of the location and the resources that we have. This place is special.
Definitely comes full circle.
Yeah, it definitely does. And then, so when you guys are through the recruiting process, and I know you've been getting blown up. I've sent you a few things from people who have asked me to talk to you, and with walk-on.
Yeah, my number didn't move around. Don't get surprised when that number goes doo. Number, because this fall right here, man. It is.
We got somebody in the chat asking.
Let's say somebody in the chat, trying to get
one of the walk-on opportunities.
Everybody wants my number, and it's been hard, but I'm thankful and I'm glad that players and people want to come. We got our coaches clinic on when is this? Saturday, April 17th. Yeah, we having our coaches clinic. Come on out. We want people to come. No, 18th. I'm sorry. 17th and 18th, Friday night and Saturday. We got a 2-day coaches clinic. Come on out. And then on Saturday, April the 11th, I'm giving the youth coaches clinic. I'm going to give them some love. I'm going to let them see what we're doing. And then on Saturday, April the 4th, we're gonna go practice off-site at a local high school. Still it's coming up. I'm going to release that. We're going to come out and give that. And then, of course, our mega camp, June 9th and 10th. It's been big. It's been huge in the past. Well, imagine it bigger, because I'm going to invite schools all across the country. I'm going to invite the Big Ten, there'll be the Big Ten, the SEC, the ACC. I'm gonna have the Big 12, and then on top of that, I'm about the HBCUs. I'm gonna have everybody coming to the Sac State Mega Camp June 9th and 10th. Mark your date because it's gonna sell out. So it's always been one of the biggest camps in the state of California. We're gonna make this thing national. I want this thing to continue to grow. I want to invite people to come around, and then my alumni, come please, come see me. April 25th, that's y'all day. We're gonna have alumni day. That's our spring game, Saturday, April the 25th. I want y'all there. You know, getting your exclusive footage.
Yeah.
You know, on down.
Got it.
You know, we'll have a big day. It'll be our alumni day. We're gonna have alumni social the night before. So I just can't say it enough how grateful I am to be received by the alumni. You know, guys like Lorenzo Lynch and like I said, Brandon Smith, Angus McClure, Bobby Frescas, Johnny O. You know, he All-American here, man. He on the wall, man. Johnny O's All-American, man. And now he on my coaching staff. Otis Amy. Come on, man. Man played in the league, played for the Niners. He know what it looked like. So you got some real serious alumni that have been coming back, and I'm just grateful to be able to serve them and represent this program and make them proud, because we went to the FBS, not just me. We as a community, we as a whole. This goes all the way back to Coach Manos. You know, we went all the way. All of us went. You know, Coach Volick. I got a chance to embrace him Saturday at the basketball game. So we went up to the FBS together. So I'm excited to be able to lead this program. So the alumni, this is for you. Continue to embrace us. The Sacramento community, continue to embrace us. We appreciate everybody, and this is an open door, and we want everybody to get on board and get ready for some action. We're in the MAC now, so it's just gonna be. You heard it, return of the MAC. You know, they set me up, but it's okay. They didn't think I had the moves in me. Still, I still got a couple of moves in my pocket.
Oh, I don't. Moves like that don't just go away, Coach. That stays forever. But so like just a couple more real quick questions. At this point now, I mean, I know it's been, you know, you've been everywhere. You've been talking to a bunch of people. There's been a lot of things going on in the last few months, but as of right now, what do you think the toughest task for you guys moving forward at this moment in time? Like, what's that one hurdle that you're looking at going, okay, this is what we need to attack, and this is what we got to do to get to that next level?
Let's just kill the elephant in the room. The biggest task is not even on the field. The biggest task is just blocking out the noise, man. Just block the noise out and focus on the process. Process over outcome. That's all we can do. You know, guys, you know, people read social media. You know, not everyone's happy about this move. Right. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody got a story to put out. There was a story came out today, you get tired of reading all the negative publicity. You know, you would think people would celebrate and get behind this and celebrate a Dr. Luke and a Mark Orr. You know, celebrate the men for doing something that they had a vision for 3 years ago. You know, I remember sitting back in 2025, hearing the press conference, hearing them talk about it, them saying they were going to do this, going way back to 2024. And to see it finally happen, I just so happened to walk into it, and I'm like, wow, well, let's go do this together. And it's tough because those the people involved, everybody, the boosters, the alumni, everybody that's made this happen, the administration, you know, it's almost like we get no grace. You know, they don't give them the credit for the vision. You got to have some foresight to make something like this happen. This just don't happen overnight. And, you know, you got to give credit where credit is due. You got to give that man his roses. You know, you got to give them the credit for saying, you know, we're going to take this thing to the FBS level. Some people probably like, you know, and the Big Sky was a great conference, you know, great football conference. Great football was being played in the Big Sky. And they had a lot of success. Shout out to Troy Taylor, Andy Thompson, and Brennan Marion. Great job. They laid a great foundation. I'm just walking in, picking up the pieces and trying to keep it all together and add my, you know, like I told you, it's like gumbo. You got all these different pieces that you put in the pot and you putting your sprinkle and your little pepper and all that on it, and then you stirring it. But you got it simmered. You don't want to turn it up too high. You turn it up too high, you're gonna burn it.
Uh-huh.
So we got that gumbo, man. We just stirring it right now, and I'm just telling my players, block out the noise. Social media is undefeated. You got all the tough guys. All the tough guys with tough opinions, and that's hard to block out. So I just tell my players worry about the process, and even my president, he just worry about the process. He's done his piece. Him and Mark Orr have done their piece. Now it's time for me and my staff to do our piece, and I'm just blocking out the noise, man. Taking one day at a time, and I'm very grateful to have this opportunity.
And one more before we let you go again, busy man. No, you got some other things to go.
Yeah, man, we 46 minutes, man.
Yeah,
You know you're gonna get an hour. You told me 30 minutes. You actually told me 15 minutes, but I'm just messing with you.
See, we got something on ESPN 1320. Shout out D-Lo and KC. So we had them a little bit longer.
Okay.
But what's the one message? And I'm sure you've kind of given it, out, piece by piece and everywhere else you go. But for those who haven't really heard you and haven't really gotten the chance to kind of understand really who you are, what is your message to Sac State, to the city, to everybody else? Like, what is your message going into your tenure now here as the head coach of Sacramento State?
Well, the biggest thing you're gonna find with me is just I'm an authentic person. I'm self-motivated. I'm driven. By God. I always put God first because I've had so many challenges and obstacles in my way in life that I had to overcome. And I'm still overcoming them. I'm not perfect. I'm not the perfect dad. I'm not the perfect coach. I'm not the perfect friend, but I'm working on it. I'm still a work in progress. And as I work, I just want people to know, if you really want to do something in life and you want to be successful, surround yourself with positive peer pressure. Put people in your circle that believe in you, that want equal or more. And if you can get some positive peer pressure around you, it just makes you better. It makes you great. And I am living that right now. I got positive peer pressure all around me on this campus. Everybody on this campus has embraced me, showed me the support, the alumni, the boosters, the donors, everybody has been just so positive, and I appreciate that. It means a lot to me. My friends, my family, my coaches, you're not about that in that circle of positive peer pressure. I just kind of block it out, and I'm human. There are many days. I have long days, and it's tough, but I just lean on the people that I know want what's best for Alonzo Carter, the person, the man. So that positive peer pressure is a real thing. Don't let nobody ever tell you what you can't be or what you can't do. I am a walking, living example of somebody telling me what I wasn't going to be. And it's unfortunate because it shaped me to be the man I am. But at 17 years old, somebody told me what I wasn't going to be. And it kind of motivates me to this day. I had a lot of obstacles in front of me, and I still have them in front of me. But I'm just thankful and blessed to have a positive circle, positive people, and that positive peer pressure. You got to keep your eyes open. You got to make sure that you don't be blinded by the madness, because sometimes you got blind spots, and you need people around you that can help you see those blind spots. And I'm just thankful to have a great group of family and friends that circle me and keep me motivated. And I'm thankful for that. So I'm never too big to do anything. That's what, like I said, I'm on here. You call me, I'm on here. I won't change. It's just who I am now. I am going to have to reduce that circle. People are not about what I'm about. Unfortunately, everybody can't go.
Well, not everybody's there for the whole story, just the chapter.
I'm just trying to make sure that I'm really careful on the things I say, because now you're the head football coach of Sacramento State, so you can't. There's certain things that come with that, and I'm aware of that. I embrace that. I wear that as a badge of honor, and I'm just trying to make sure I represent this football program and Sac State, at its highest level, and I'm just very grateful to have that. So that's the biggest thing I want people to know about me. I'm a very humble servant, but I'm also very thankful to have that positive peer pressure to help me be the man that you see right now. And I owe all that to my mother, Mary Jean Abraham, which passed away. And it was just she did the best to raise me. I was a middle child, and she passed away in 2019, and it's tough because she never got a chance to see me coach college football, and I'm just thankful to have that. And I did a speech, and I'm leaving on this note, and it was deep, and I did it a couple of weeks ago at the Black Coaches Symposium from my good friend Chandler Jones. His mother had me come speak as a keynote speaker, and the speech was called One of One. And in my lifetime, I've never seen an African American inner city public school, Oakland public school, head coach become a Division I FBS head football coach. It hasn't happened. So I'm one of one, and I take that, and I'm thankful, and I'm very appreciative of that, because I'm setting the tone and the example for the next young man that's looking up to me. And it's okay. Dare to be different. It's okay. It's okay to be one of one. But what are you doing when you become one of one? What kind of example are you setting? So I wear that badge. It's a badge of honor that I wear with grace, and I'm very thankful and very happy to try to bring some joy to some people through this game of football. Because when it's all said and done, it's a sport. It's something that we love to do. But you have different ways of changing your life through the sport and through education. So you combine them two together, be one of one. And then you could go big stingers up. You being one of one.
Yes, sir. Not a lot of the head coaches used to dance for MC Hammer either. So
no,
that's
another one of one. I brought that. How many coaches got their own album? I still got my album, man. This is my album right here. You see what I'm saying? You see me right there, man. You gotta be one of one, man. He's my brother, man. Big shout out to Sydney, Steve, Alvin, and my good friend Michael Sessions. These are my guys, One of one, man. You gotta know who you are. Never forget who you are. I'm very grateful and very thankful to have had a relationship with MC Hammer. He gave me my first professional career, and through that opened up a lot of doors. I watched that man, hardest working man in show business. I watched him give back constantly, and he opened the door and paved my career for me. And I also got a chance to work with my good friend Nnamdi Asomugha, which I'm sure he's watching. First round draft pick for the Raiders. He believed in me way back. Instead of going to the training for the NFL Combine, instead of going to one of these big facilities, we worked out at McClymonds High School in the Oakland YMCA. And then he goes first round draft pick to the Oakland Raiders. So when you get a chance to do these things, man, that's another chapter in my life. I was a track coach and a football coach in the hood, McClymonds High School, just trying to save lives and change lives. And, when you do right by people, God will always bless you with your opportunities. You're so busy helping others.
Amen.
It's time for you.
Amen.
He blessed me, and I'm very thankful. And I know things don't happen on accident. The blessings that have come my way is because I've blessed so many others, and I'm going to continue to bless others. The blessings don't stop, because I believe in you treat people how you want to be treated. So I'm always be a good person in my heart. I'm always be a prayerful person, and I'm always be thankful, and I'm gonna stay humble.
And we're blessed to be able to have you and to talk to you and be able to have this relationship, because again, and I've told you this, and I've told everybody who's watched, you are by far one of the most important staple guests of this show.
Oh,
This
on the
this this
anniversary. Yeah.
is like, out of all the guests and stuff we've had, you've definitely been one of those who didn't really let a bunch of things kind of get in the way. You never really made excuses. You always kind of
No,
helped us
man.
out when we needed your help. You've always
100%.
been
I'm
able to
here
be
for
a helping hand throughout the whole process. So we definitely, appreciate and have blessed to have you on the show for the last 5+ years, and hopefully some more. And we're
I'll be
definitely
back.
gonna.
I mean, hopefully, I'm coming back. Let me know. Let me know when you need me. Come in spring. Be at spring ball, April 25th. Come
It'll
on
say
out.
you're closer now. You're in the backyard. We're
I'm
definitely
right here.
there
You
now. We
come up
got no
wherever, get
excuses
some
no more.
exclusive footage. Come on. Come follow me for a whole day. Cut the camera on.
Okay.
Come on.
Yep.
Let's
Yep.
get
work.
you some
We're gonna make
behind
it
the
happen.
scenes stuff. Come on, man. You right up the street. Then I got to get you some gear to go with it. Come on. Come on.
Oh yeah. Oh, but speaking of gear, and I know you gave me that look when I told you. You gave me the first snapback hat that's ever fit my head, so I also appreciate that.
Yes.
I gotta find
Because
one now. I
all
gotta get you
snapbacks
one.
don't fit.
Yeah, I gotta give you another one then. I gotta take care. You got all the different phases, so I gotta take care of my man.
Absolutely. Appreciate it, Coach. Everybody, Jaffo Army, Jaffo community, you guys know him. You love him. Keep supporting the man. Go follow him. Go, again, the story, it's not over yet, and it's been
Right
awesome
here.
to be able to watch.
Yeah, the
So,
story. You see the story, man. You got different chapters. There
yep.
you go. MTV Awards, the Grammys, college graduate, 10-time platinum. Now I gotta add the Sac State too.
Yep.
Don't stop. The story is still being written as we go. It is
Absolutely.
still being written. I appreciate you guys, man.
Yes, sir.
Come on, man. We got to get them
All
big
right.
stingers. Big
Let's go,
stingers.
big stingers. Let's go.
All right. Appreciate
All
you.
right, Coach. Love
All
you.
right.
All the
Have a
best,
good
Coach.
one.
Good
We'll
luck.
talk to you again
Appreciate y'all.
soon.
All love. All right.
Absolutely.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, the newest head coach of the Sacramento State Hornets, the newest addition to the MAC conference and the FBS. Always great to have him on. Always great to talk to him. He was with us last year on our 5th anniversary show, so now he's with us back on our 6th anniversary show. Now that he's closer, we could probably have him a couple more times, a little bit more, and then obviously we could be able to go visit him. And you guys heard it here. We're gonna be doing that documentary we've been talking about, maybe coming into fruition really damn soon.
Yeah.
So we're real excited for that.
Jaffos at Hornet Stadium coming soon.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. They don't know who they're letting in the building. They don't know. But I mean, again, Coach Zoe has always been, just again, not just a great coach, because he's been winning at all levels. He's been doing nothing but not just winning football games, but winning in the sense of being able to help young men grow into productive and good people. He's been a great coach, but he's an even better human being. So every single time that we've had the chance to talk to him, and again, I still don't know to this day, with the Rolodex of people that he has to talk to, the fact that I'm able to text him on a random Monday, being able to go, hey, Coach, if mind hopping on the show, and not even a hesitation, just yep, what time? It's always been great to have him. Always been great to talk to him. And we're definitely going to be getting a lot more with him, so I'm really excited for that. It's that positive peer pressure. We've been hearing that from him since the first time we talked to him. Like that was something that's a staple of what, like, when he says it, he means that shit. Like Coach Zoe, that positive peer pressure, he lives by that. Like I said, he's been mentioning that since the first time we talked to him. That first time we talked to him, it was damn near a 2-hour show when we had him on, because he gave us the whole, like I said, origin story. What happened with MC Hammer, the high school coaching, everything else to that, leading up to San Jose State. And then the next time, it's almost like this show has been a visual audio portion of the book that he's currently writing as he's writing it. You know, it's been awesome to be able to talk to him, listen to the story, and there's a reason why a lot of people are trying to get into contact. We told them, I've been getting, you know, contacts from people like, hey, you know, Coach Zoe, hey, can you get in my film? You know, can we, you know, hey, I'm trying to get here in the chats right here saying, you know, walk on opportunities. Everybody's excited. Like people know what Coach Zoe brings. And what he brings is success, not just at the athletic level, but at the life level. He is somebody that you definitely want to have as a coach. He's somebody that you can look up to. He's somebody that you can talk to. If you're a player, I've talked to players. I've seen players who, to this day, Coach O, yeah, Coach O. Actually, he's on, you know, on the mind. You know, the lessons that he's taught and everything else like that is just good human being, absolutely great human being, and I'm really excited to see what he does with the program and how they do in the FBS. I'm really looking forward to being able to play as Sacramento State in college football 27 next year. That's going to be awesome because I think the college football, they said that any team, like the teams that you play with, that those statistics and like those numbers transfer as much, like they pay the schools. So like if a lot of people are playing at Sacramento State, that's revenue from college, from college football, the ESPN college football game, not ESPN, sorry, EA Sports
EA
college
Sports.
football and NCAA. That money you play at Sacramento State, that's going to them. So it's just like, hey, if I can be able to donate into the pot, you know, a little bit, you know, while playing video games at the same time, why not? And they got a hell of a uniform combination too. I like those colors.
I guess if there's a concern is now with them going to Division One football, which is what the FBS is for those that don't know. How does this affect one of the most events that people like to go to? How will this affect now the Causeway Classic between them and Davis?
I'm gonna assume that there'll be a non-conference game. Like, I mean, because there are certain that type of stuff. Like when you're looking at certain rivalries, you know, I know as a Texas fan when they moved to the SEC or when A&M moved to the SEC before, they were talking about the certain rivalries. Like, you know, oh man, is when Texas moved and then Oklahoma moved and then it's just kind of, it was one of those things like, oh, you want to keep certain rivalries. So I'm sure, especially for how long the Causeway Classic has been going, I heavily doubt that they're
That's
just going
gonna end. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I don't see that happen, and I definitely see it being at this point now a non-conference game, whether it be beginning of the season or mid-season. But yeah, that was one thing that I had thought before too. I was like, them against UC Davis. I was like, I don't know if that's gonna disappear or if it's gonna. It may be one of those where maybe the first year or two, it may not happen, but then it'll come back in some way, shape, or form. You know, so but I'm hoping, you know, along with everybody else who's loved going to those games. I still haven't made one yet. I need to make one, and now they're in the FBS. Still need to make one. So that's going to be one of those games that, you know, got to be able to get out there and see. So I really do hope that they keep it. They got 8 conference games. They still need to fill out three other non-conference games.
Yeah,
If I'm not mistaken.
Normally it's an 11-game season.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah,
got
so
to
I'm
fill in
gonna
those slots. I
assume.
mean, I know some do 12, depending on what conference you're in, so on and so forth. But I mean, it would be great if that rivalry does stay intact because I mean, like I said, I haven't been to one. I mean, I've watched them on TV, and I mean, you know, I mean, it's right down the road. So I mean, why not keep that rivalry going?
Yeah, exactly. And then I know he was talking about blocking out the negative stuff, and that's why I wanted to kind of ask him like how that. But I know, especially from what I've been reading, I'm looking at it going, how are people not happy about this? Dude, like we okay.
People are always gonna find a way to be negative. no matter what.
100%. But
Yeah.
but Sacramento, let's understand something, people. The entirety of my time living in this city, I have heard nothing but it's boring, there's nothing to do, blah 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 blah. Now you have an opportunity to have an FBS school to bring in more revenue. You have more talent and everything coming in. If I'm not mistaken, the plans to for that new stadium are still intact. That's still something that they're going to be doing. So when that happens, like the amount of revenue that is going to be able to come to the city because of this move, it's not just about, oh, they're just playing football. No, the amount of revenue that's going to come to this city because of that, and it's another thing for people to do. It's an exciting thing for people to do. You got FBS schools now,
and not to
coming
mention, the MAC conference plays on ESPN. You get to be on the worldwide leader. Hello.
in. The amount
Hello,
of
somebody.
opportunities, the amount of opportunities that's going to come from this, it still boggles my mind that people are just like, oh, I don't like it. But what's crazy is 3 years ago when they first started talking about raising the NIL money, doing the stadium, and then going to FBS, everybody was on board. But now they make the move, and now all of a sudden it's a problem. Well, that made me start thinking, well, why is it a problem now? And in the reading and all the stuff that I've seen, it kind of sounds like the problem is because of the conference that they're in. Because of it's a MAC conference. I think people were expecting Sacramento State to end up like a new member of the Pac-12 or the ACC or the Mountain West. Like they were expecting something like a huge move. They raised $50 million in order to do this move. That's more NIL money than a lot of FBS schools, especially at that time, were even making at all. So the fact that people are upset about it, they're more upset, I think, about where the conference is, or what conference that they decided to come into. And now, people, you got to also understand this: the way college football works nowadays, they can spend maybe 5-10 years in the MAC, and depending on how things go, we're in a different conference now.
Yeah.
Teams can move conferences like kids can hit the transfer portal now.
Mm-hmm.
As long as they make a good deal and everything with whatever conference that they're going into, that can happen. Shit. If they really wanted to, you can have one team that goes conference to conference every single year. A different conference every single year. If they really wanted to do it, if they really wanted to actually break it down and do, I think that's what Notre Dame should do. Pick a fucking conference, assholes. You don't get an automatic bid. Go fuck yourselves.
Well, and the irony is they're in conference in every other sport but football.
But
basketball, ACC.
Most of it is TV deals and
Well, yeah,
everything. They don't have to answer, the whole thing. But when this college football thing came around, it's like, well, what about Notre Dame? Well, what about Notre Dame? Who cares? I don't care about Notre Dame that much. Yeah, you got your own TV station. You got your... Okay, join a conference if you want to be in the playoff that bad. If you really want to get your automatic bid, then get into a conference and win a conference. But they don't want to do it because they're cowards. That's really what it is. You can't tell me that they can't go into a conference and still keep their TV deals. Texas does it. They have their own Texas Longhorns network.
Network, yeah.
And they're in the SEC. You've got teams, all over the place that have their own networks. So why can't Notre Dame do the same thing? But I mean, it's just kind of one of those. We're just going to bitch and moan until we get our way, and that's exactly what ended up happening this last year. But it's just one of those things where there's so many opportunities, there's so many things that can happen in the world of college football today that, like you said, the progress can show where and how much revenue and everything like that comes into the city. And I think people really need to actually take a step back and before having some selective outrage on something that really like some of y'all don't understand. A lot of these small business owners, especially the ones that are surrounding Sacramento State, how much those businesses are going to boom and how much the city is going to be able to generate from that. The amount of attention, the amount of buzz, the amount of, the national attention. Like Dub said, the ESPN's, going to be down in Sacramento State, a whole hell of a lot more than what they were.
Mm-hmm. It's not going to be ESPN.
There's
It's not going to be ESPN Plus no more. It's going to be ESPN, ESPN2, ESPNU.
And they, depending on what's going on, College Game Day can be rolling through.
Oh, if they come to the Capitol, oh boy. They come to the Capitol of California, oh boy. You bring Pat McAfee and them to the Capitol?
I'm telling you, the amount of opportunity that comes with this move is beyond what people, I think, are really, focusing on. They just see the dollar amount and go, oh man, we're spending all that money on football. Bigger picture, people. Bigger picture. First, you were complaining there's nothing to do. Now that there's something to do, you're still complaining. Why? What is going on? I don't understand it. You have one of the most genuine human beings on this planet as your head coach. And before you really got to start getting to know him, you're already trying to bury him under the bus.
Mm-hmm.
That makes no sense. I mean, that's because I'm just biased. We've known Coach Zoe for a long time. We know how he is. People need to be able to sit back and actually give that man a chance, because he's going to be able to show you guys something that you have not seen here at Sac State. So it's going to be fun. I'm excited. I know me and Mad Six have been talking about it. Like, oh man, there were so many different ideas and different things that what we want to do, and now we got Coach O saying, "Hey, come get that exclusive." Well, can't say no to that, can we? So when Coach Zoe gives us the opportunity to do something, we end up going to do it. I mean, shit, we traveled all the way to Arizona, because he did give us an ultimatum, and that's fine. That's completely fine. He did say, come to a game or I don't show up on the show. Now, how much of that was actually true? Because again, we know how he is. I don't know, but I didn't want to risk it.
We wasn't taking that chance.
I didn't want to take that chance at all. So heading down to Arizona, going to check that out. And then, again, now that he's in the backyard, that we'll be able to get more content, more stuff, just to be able to hang around, with Coach Zoe a little bit more often.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that the aura of that man is something that you want to let that, all right, get some of that on me so I can, now be able to get that positive peer pressure and everything and be able to work my life to a better spot. So, I mean, again, we can say so many great things about that man that it's just we've already taken up an hour and 15 minutes just talking about basically what he did and what he's doing and what's going to be happening there at Sac State. So it's just when he says that he is trying to bless people and treat others the way you want to be treated type of thing, he means it. Like, this is not a person that you can look at and go, oh, is there ulterior motives? No, there isn't. You can take what he says at face value. He means that shit. So I'm more than excited. Glad to have him on again. Glad that we can be able to have him on more. Like we said, most of the stops that he's had, it's been about 10, 15 minutes. We've been every time we've had him on the show, it's damn near an hour or more, because
Mm-hmm.
we can talk with him. He's a very easy person to have a conversation with, and it's very easy to get lost in time with said conversation. We can probably have a 4 or 5 hour show. If we had unlimited time with Coach Zoe, we could probably set up a 3 to 4 hour show with the amount of information and just conversation that we can have with him. So, and I know a lot of people like, oh, what can you talk to Coach Zoe? Guys, there's only so much that we can do. Okay.
We ain't recruiters. You gotta you gotta do the work. Do the work
Hey,
yourself. We ain't recruiters.
I can give stats. I can give the whole thing. That's fine. I've told everybody this. I am not going to guarantee you anything. We have a relationship with him. Yes, that doesn't mean whatever we say is gospel and that's what he's going to do. Like, we're not going to be like, oh, hey, coach, there's this player. You should pick him up. Okay, yeah, I'm going to sign him. There we go. No, that it doesn't happen that way. Y'all got to put the film. Y'all got to do the work. Y'all got to make sure your social medias are clean. Y'all got to make sure that all of that stuff, because if you just think film is going to get you signed with him,
no, you gotta have character.
yeah.
Gotta have character.
If
You gotta have my Venmo. If you got my Venmo, we might make something happen.
but it's like, but that's the thing. It's not just film. It's everything that's important to him. So again, we can mention it. That's fine, and we have meant. I've been able to tell him, about certain players that I think Peyton Hatton, the kid we've been talking to and stuff since high school. He's in D3 right now. He wants to transfer. He still wants to play for Coach Zoe. Still texts me and everything to this day. Hey, can you send my? Hey, Coach Zoe follows him. Just keep working. That's all I can tell you to do. Keep working. Keep putting that film in. But most of all, the character is where it needs to be. You can't be, oh, give him my film, and then your social media has you doing, God knows what. All the dumb shit and everything else like that. Like, Coach Zoe is not one of those coaches that is just going to sign you based on your talent. This is about building not just a program, but building productive young men to be productive members of society. That's the whole goal. And if you're not with that, if you're not willing to be able to take said constructive criticism and be able to be in that positive peer pressure circle, then it ain't going to be for you. Just plain and simple. You can go wherever else you want after that, but your wanting to play for Coach Zoe is not going to happen if that's the route that you're taking. It's not just going to be film. It's going to be character and stuff too. Now, I'm not saying that anybody that we've talked to that has tried to forward that doesn't have character. But again, there's only so many roster spots. There's only so many people that he can talk to and that he can bring aboard, and that we can't guarantee everything. We have a relationship with him. We are blessed to have a relationship with him. I am more than happy that we have a relationship with him. But it's not that type of relationship where whatever we say is going to be guaranteed. Not going to happen that way. Y'all still got to do the work. And on top of that, and I've told some people, why are you contacting me? You should be contacting him. Get into he's not a hard man to find. Coach Alonzo Carter on every social media outlet. You find him everywhere, whether Facebook, Instagram, you can find him right there. And hit his DMs, hit him with your film, talk to him a little bit on there. If he gets to it, again, he's a busy man. So if he gets to it, he gets to it. He just said he's got, I don't know how many messages that are unread right now. But it's just one of those guys got to do it work. You can't, this whole idea of, having somebody else do it for you. He can't gauge your character through us. Only you can do that. So get into his DMs, talk to him, send your film. Again, make sure those social medias are clean. Make sure that you're not doing anything stupid, because the last thing that you're going to want is you give Coach Zoe all of these promises, all this stuff, and then he signs you and you end up doing something that you're not supposed to be doing, and it makes him look bad. That's just going to be a whole different shitstorm for you. You know, so
Then you might get the Oakland to come out of him.
that's what you don't want. You know,
You might get the town out of him. You don't want that. You don't want that smoke.
You know, so I appreciate people coming to us wanting to ask. I really do. It gives a little sense of importance, like we have a little bit of pull, even though we really don't when it comes to the recruiting and everything like that. But you know, it's nice to have people, you know, being like, oh, hey, can you talk to Coach So? I can. I'm not guaranteeing you anything. It's probably better if you talk to him. You're probably going to get a better result if you hit his email, if you hit his, you know, Instagram page. You know, so, and if you don't know where it is, if you follow us, which you should be following us, I don't know why you wouldn't be following us. He's on there. He's one of the followers. We follow him. He follows us. He just, you know, accepted the collaboration post for the show tonight. So all of his followers and everything. I'm just looking at the notifications right now. 50 likes, 100 likes, views, and everything else just on that post. So you guys can find him. You guys can find him through us, but at the end of the day, you need to be able to talk to him yourself. You know, that's where you're going to be able to get it down. But you know, again, great to have him on. I'm happy we've had him on. I'm excited for this next stage. I'm excited for the future. The content and everything that we're going to be able to get is going to be awesome.
And fans, show up.
Did I
show up?
Seriously.
Show up to the stadium, fans.
Seriously. And did I hear that correctly? VIP section? Did I hear that?
VIP.
You did say that.
I did hear that correctly.
VIP.
Okay.
You did say that.
He is a man of his word.
Your ears do not deceive you.
I was like, I just wanted to make sure I heard that correctly because I didn't want to be like, oh, hey, what about that VIP, right? Well, I didn't say nothing about VIP. I don't understand. But he's a man of his word. When he told us, you know, last time, get down to Arizona, I'll get you guys gear. We'll have a good time, this and that. What happened? Got down to Arizona, got us gear, had a good time. You know, so if he's telling us now at Sac State, exclusive film, gear, VIP, you think he's not a man of his word?
Adidas gear.
Watch us. See, that's the only thing. I'm a Nike guy, so Adidas might be a little bit of a problem. So, but nonetheless,
Adidas,
I got
Adidas
support,
got some nice comfy stuff. They're not bad.
No, that's fine. That's fine. It's more of a soccer brand for me, but I'm just saying it's
You're not.
it's fine. It's fine. I got to support.
Remember, Kobe's first shoe was Adidas. Remember that.
Okay, but where did he end up?
When I know. I get it. I get it. I understand it. Now, if Nike will make some more comfortable stuff and not be so expensive, I might start buying Nike gear again.
That is also true. But, you know, again, got to support and be able to, you know, I got people, got to get some Sac State gear. It's like, yeah, go support the program. I'm telling you guys, like, everybody in this city should be supporting Sac State right now, should be supporting Coach Zoe. You guys really don't know what you have. And I've been watching the interviews and stuff. I watched that interview that he had with ESPN 1320, you know, with D'Lo and KC, and I listened to it and went back to the YouTube channel and watched it. I still don't think they have an idea of who Coach Zoe really is, of what he's really going to bring to this city, not just the program, but to the city. We're talking about somebody who's been wanting to be here. He's been wanting to do this since he was coaching high school. So this has always been prime destination for Coach. So now the stars have aligned for him. He comes in at the perfect time to where they're going into FBS now. It's like, man, you guys better start getting excited. You better start getting excited because this man is about to take this program to a whole new level. And I think for those of you who are talking all that mess and stuff right now, I mean, they say winning cures everything, but those same people who are talking shit are going to be praising him very soon. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you that. You know, so now Let's do a little shift. 6th anniversary show. So we got a couple more things to talk about. I needed to bring something up real quick. We got A7 coming up soon. So needed to kind of talk about that as we're coming into the month of March. Was it less than 20 days now? Shit, before the season starts.
15th, yeah.
So first thing, I watched the other side of the ball. Chris went off. That was crazy. Never seen him just leave a show because he was so pissed before.
Oh, he was very passionate.
Him and I have had some passionate back and forth, and he's never done that. So,
oh no. But it was good back and forth though.
leave it to the gold to make him just want.
I don't think necessarily the gold. I just think it was L.A. And then once again, like I said, I mean, to the point to where Steve Ashmore was like, you know what, I can't do this no more. And Ashmore was sending me a message right as we were, on live, and I'm like, look, and even 2-5 said this on air. I called him. I said, be advised, this is how it's gonna go down, and he didn't listen, and thus. I'm apologizing over the years, talking about fans. I'm sorry that this happened, even though it was talked about in the chat room on every possible player page. But I mean, still,
I mean, it was one of those that you look at it, and I was kind of with Steve. I was watching it too, going like, I'm hearing nothing but me coming out of this guy's mouth. And I'm like, you guys won one game in 3 years. What could you possibly be so me about? Why hasn't, and Chris said it best, like, you're here talking about yourself when you should be talking about how you're going to improve the team, how you're going to get better, how you're no longer going to be a fucking punching bag in the West. That's what you should be talking about. Instead, you're worrying about who's playing quarterback for a 1-win in 3-year team. Come on now, let's be real. Let's be real on this. And then I love what Derek said too, because I'm real with him on this one. You got people like RTU and stuff like, oh, the league's gonna be man. Y'all have no idea what the fuck y'all are talking about. First of all, and Kent Stansbury replied to that, like, people have been saying that shit for years, and we've been here for 12. So what now? Like it doesn't really. It doesn't really register to me, because with the league being what it is, are there flaws? Sure, there are flaws. There are flaws in the NFL. There are flaws in college football. There's flaws anywhere else.
Any professional sports organization, there is some flaws everywhere.
So do they need work? Of course. But saying that, the league is going to shut down and all this, the players are all, talking. And I've said this once, and I'm just going to say it again, and I'm going to leave it at this. Okay? A lot of y'all talking all this mess in the group chats and on the, the page and everything. Y'all are lucky that shit is private, first of all. Second of all, I'm going to say this real quick. I know there's a lot of you that were D1, that went D2, played college football, the works. Get it? Understand it. Where are you at now? Arguing with grown-ass men about A7FL football. And taking personal shots. Like, this is not even, like, friendly banter. I'm not going to say, like, shit was going on, but, like, that pisses me off when I see the shit that's like, y'all ain't taking this seriously. Y'all want some of this shit to be handed to you instead of being part of the groundwork to get to that point.
And here's the problem. You've had celebrities talk about it. You've had Pat McAfee talk about it. You've had a Super Bowl winning head coach in Mike Tomlin mention it and talk about it. And then when something like, for example, we go back 2 years ago with the fight between the Chaos and the Watchmen.
Yep.
Stuff like that can happen because, again, if you have, again, Pat McAfee shows on ESPN, as we all know, you had somebody on the Worldwide Leader shout out the league, and then you turn around and go do something like that. that can blow an opportunity to possibly get a network TV deal.
Nope.
I mean, okay, if they can air axe throwing on ESPN, you mean to tell me the ASNFL can't get on the worldwide leader also? I mean, it could be it could be on ESPN2 for crying out loud, or whatnot. As somebody must have bothered JP's phone, and he has always given you this public service announcement: don't hit up the phone when he's on the air. But you got a phone call, and the bad guy.
People need to stop fucking calling me.
Like I was just giving the PSA. Don't bother the phone when JP's on the air.
Stop calling me when I'm talking on the podcast, people. Jesus Christ. You guys don't understand how much that frustrates me. I'm not going to lie to you.
All we need to do now is just get JP a laptop so they can, leave the phone alone.
Yeah, I will be able to use the laptop for other shit too while I'm using the phone. So,
but
yeah.
The thing is, I mean, the league gets views, the league gets a following, but it's just stupid things like that kind of holds themselves back from getting to where they should be or want to be at.
Yeah.
And now this year, with the who's in, who's not in. I mean, now as it stands right now, it's going to be
11.
an 11-team league.
Yeah.
Now the Lexington Phantoms are now in, as Atlanta is now out and LA is now out.
I was actually looking forward to that Compton team, but
I was anxious to see how they were going to do it. And now there's no Baltimore Thunder. So now, I mean, if you go to the website, it's a 5-game regular season, and now the championship game is now on the 31st of May, as opposed to being in June.
They cut it down to.
Now again, that's just today. Like I said, if you go to the website, which I did, because I didn't know that Will Franklin's cryptic message was actually some truth to that, but apparently there is truth to that. But as it stands right now, opening day is still set for March 15th. But the schedule has.
So we're looking at
change.
A total of what, 8 weeks, including playoffs?
So opening day, March 15th. Last game for the regular season is April 19th. And the wild card is April 26th. Playoffs is on May the 3rd. Final Four, May 17th. Championship, May 31st.
Oh, so 9. Okay. I mean, it's a step down. It's not necessarily the step in the right direction per se, but there's still things that can be done. I think obviously there's a lot of work, but and I've said this before, and I know Derek's getting irritated, with it, and at times, like, he's saying it as a generalization to everybody, but that last one where he said, like, the hating and this will make up for the hater thing. I was like, wait a minute, when have I ever hated on the league? I've not once ever hated on the league. I'm passionate about this league. I want this shit to get better. I want this shit to get good. So when have I ever been hated?
How many times have you and I vouched for them to come up to your neck of the woods, to come to Northern California?
We're trying to expand. We're trying to get to Northern California. We're trying to get the Reno area and everything. We're trying to get all that shit to happen. But
I ain't getting no younger. They better come soon.
Matt Six is like, I want to play at least one season, damn it.
But it's like there's a lot of stuff that can be done, but when you're trying to get investors, there's certain things that you need to do, and that goes from center all the way down. That goes from the players all the way up. Everybody's got to be able to do their part in it, and taking shots at one another. And I can understand competitive banter. I've always been an advocate of competitive shit talking. I've always been cool with that. But as soon as you start getting personal and everything, that's when you're crossing a line. You're trying to get you're starting to talk about, other things that aren't even related to football. It's just, what are we doing here? And then that reflects on the field. How many times last year, Dub, did I hear, "Oh, come on, guys, let's not.
Yeah,
Come on,
I've
let's."
I've said it.
That's
I've
just in the
said that.
West.
I've said that a little bit too much on the air.
That's just in the West. We're not even talking about the East. The East has their own problems to begin with as well. We're not going to say, and they've talked about it. This isn't news. They've got problems with their ownership in the East out there with what they're going to do and how things get done. Everybody's got their issues. I mean, Derek's been, he's got the issues out here in the West, but he's been doing pretty goddamn well out here in establishing that division.
Well, again,
And what pisses him off, and he said this, I'm only going to say this. I don't want to go deep into what he said because it was a private chat. But when you're talking about a person who put fucking everything, life savings, everything into this, fuck yeah, he's going to get mad when bullshit happens. Hell yeah, he's going to get upset when people are talking shit. Hell yeah, he's going to get mad at the ambassadors that he was supposed to have that are also talking shit about the game. And about the league and everything else like that. Of course he's going to get pissed. Rightfully so. If I put that much money into the fucking division trying to get that shit off the boat, I'd be fucking mad too. I'd be ripping heads everywhere. So it's you. The players need to understand, and I know Matt Ryan's on, we're talking about egocentric play. Look, at some point, as a grown-ass fucking man, you got to be able to put your fucking ego aside. You have to be able to think without putting your ego in the way. Because what's happening right now is all the ego is getting in the way of everything. And I'm not just talking about the players. I'm talking about owners, coaches, higher up. Ego is what's the big problem in this whole thing. If people can shut the fuck up, work together, actually talk about what things can get done for this league to improve, instead of just shit talking and bashing everybody wherever whenever it happens, you're never going to get anywhere. You're never going to get anywhere that way. You have to be able to work together. Okay, are we going to have disagreements? Sure, we're going to have disagreements. That's the whole part of being able to grow something. You're going to have disagreements. You're going to have blocks in the road.
Agree to disagree.
But at the end of the day, working together is going to make it in the long run. The league is really not that far off from being where everybody expects it to be. It's not that far off as people would like. People are talking about fucking, the league's gonna be dead in a year or two. Shut up. You don't know shit. You're just here. You're a troll at that point. And I know who I'm fucking talking to. Everybody knows who I'm talking to when I say that. I already mentioned his name earlier. Most of the shit that I've seen him put, he's just trolling. That's what he does. He trolls for likes, and what he does is being able to basically fucking stir the pot with everybody to where now everybody's on his show talking shit, calling people out of name, doing all this shit. But hey, at least he's getting his views, right? That's not fucking good for the league. That doesn't help anything at all. You're a fucking Jerry Springer show to the A7FL. That's what you are. That's it. Okay, you get your views, people are there, people are watching, cool. Everybody doesn't look away from a car crash. Okay? That doesn't make what happened in the car crash any less fucking horrible. That content that I see from that, getting players to come into the live and basically call each other out of name, talking shit, talking all of this stuff, not competitive, like I said, shit, bad shit. That's what your whole show is based off of, is league drama. That's it. And you think the league is going to go anywhere with that? Bro, please. And what's funny is you only have your show in the private. You don't do your show on YouTube. You don't do your show on Instagram. You don't do your show on public Facebook Live. You keep it in the private. You probably should. Don't ever bring that shit out in the fucking light. I mean, you've already put a bunch of shit out there that people can look at, that investors can look at and go, I want nothing to do with it. You've already done enough damage. So please don't ever make your fucking show public. Don't ever do that. Because that's a real quick way for the league to probably look at you and go, you know what? Nah, bro. One, we're gonna kick you out of the community here. We're gonna kick you out of the private chat. We're gonna kick you out of because you're doing nothing but bringing trouble. You're doing nothing but bringing drama. You know, that's nothing that the league needs right now. We need somebody. We need people to be able to, if they're gonna have this shows, to be able to bring people together, talk about the team, talk about what they want, talk about football. That's what we do here. You know, we've had the BIC. We told it, hey, I told them, talk y'all shit. But when they were here, they didn't talk shit in the sense of calling people out of name. That was my job. I went full bad guy, calling people bitch made and all that stuff for certain things. That was me. Do I regret it? No, I don't, because I call it like I see it. But every time we've had players come onto this show, it's been about what we're going to do for the team, what we want to do for the league, the vision, you know, everything else like that. Positive shit for the league. That's what we try to do. I know
why
other side of the ball tries to do the same thing. You know, Mizzle and Dub try to do the same thing. There are definitely multiple platforms for this league for everybody to be doing it the right way. You know, you have, you know, Matt Wright, well, they're not media trained. No shit, they're not media fucking trained. But at least we can give them a platform to be able to practice that.
which I do have to give Coach Lee of the Stealth credit. Because he was on the other side of the ball last Wednesday before the drama ensued with LA. But he made a valid point where he says that he has his players sign media contracts and they have to get his permission to come on the show, which is
That's fine.
very credible and admirable by him to do that, because you're correct. Not a lot of these players are media trained, and you know they say what they feel. And again, there are platforms to where you can do that. However, again, there always has to be some sort of professionalism to this, because again, if the league does happen to get a national TV deal, which can still happen, they're gonna have to learn some etiquette of, you know, of what not to say, how to say it, and you know, not necessarily, you know, blur out expletives. Trust me. I worked with Scott McCorkle in the booth for 2 years, trying to not necessarily tame him, but not to have him go off the deep end, because you know we love Scotty, and Scotty is a very passionate individual when it came to calling these games. So you know,
you know what? I give him some credit because he tried. But he's just him. He's just unapologetically him, and that I love that about McCorkle. I really do. Viking, shout out to the Viking. You know, I think he's playing this year again, right?
I don't know. Like he is a hard man to get in contact with. Like
I know he's been busy though too with the business. So
yes,
there's he's been doing big things with the big business.
As we always keep telling him, if he watches, the door's always open. You know, just whenever you decide you want to come back from the Bifrost, just let us know, and we'll open up the Rainbow Bridge of Asgard. But I mean, there's still some things to look forward to. I mean, you want to see how the Phantoms are going to do. You want to see if the Animals can rebound in a sense from taking a step back. Anxious to see this new reincarnation of the Renegades, how they're going to be new. What did the Heathens do to retool themselves?
Oh boy, watch the Heathens this year. They are going to make some noise. They're going to make some noise, not because they've added a couple of really good players to the team. I mean, shit, Captain America literally just he's on the USA rugby team again, this year. So there's going to be a lot of things going on with that Heathens team that I think they were already looking at them last year going, man, this team there's some potential on this team. This team can be really something. They're physical, they're aggressive, they play hard. Like this could be a team this year. They're going to take that step forward. I wholeheartedly believe that.
Also, I mean, the big question is, can the BIC do the one thing they haven't done, which is gone back to back?
Man, I think they can. I think they can. They've gotten nothing but better in the offseason, really. I mean, I still don't. Manny, I love you, but I still don't understand the move. I really don't. You went from pretty much a W1 to maybe a 4 on that team. So if you're hitching the ride for the ring, cool. I understand it. Whatever. People do that.
You're not
people
gonna
have done that on the Insomniacs too. But
you're not gonna start over. You're not gonna start over case on Campbell.
No,
you're dang sure not gonna start over Nashante Worthy.
No. There's a few others there too that there's no way. I'm sorry. You're not going to be over them. You're probably going to be like what you were doing in the championship game and just being a cheerleader. That's just really the cold hard facts of it. But I don't understand. I mean, him and Tender had a bit of a falling off, so that was part of it. But outside of that, it was just kind of one of those moves going, okay, if you didn't want to be in the Animals, sure. But you should have gone to a team where you would have made a complete difference. If you were as good as you say you were, then you should be able to go to a team that isn't as stacked as the BIC and be able to work. Go to the Renegades. See what happens there. Go to the U. Try out with the U. Yeah. The U right now is
they're the biggest wild card.
They're still good, but it's like, and Big Rob has talked about the U is starting to get to a point right now to where they need to revamp and start looking at the youth because they're getting older.
They are.
So he could have gone to the U and tried something out in Patterson. He could have gone to the Renegades. He could have gone, with the Heathens. He could have gone, really to anybody else other than the BIC. But he chose to go with the BIC. His boys are on the team. Okay, people want to play with their friends, cool. But at the end of the day, when you talk the shit about how you're, best fucking receiver since sliced bread, well, how are you going to back that up now when you're not on the field? You might have a couple of special packages and stuff like that. I'll actually be surprised if Manny is starting, as a wide, if he's on the field, I would be surprised if he's on the field more than half the time. I'd be very surprised. Because again, unless some injuries and stuff like that happen, I just don't see it. Now I could be wrong. He could prove me wrong. I am fully encouraging him to do that. I want him to do that. I want him to succeed. I want him to get better. But how I see it right now, I don't know if that decision was the greatest decision in the world. But there's a lot of moves that have happened. 11 teams, this year. Cutting down short the league, a little bit. Matt Ryan is basically leaving breadcrumbs everywhere. I think he's coming back, but then he might not be coming back, but then he may be coming back, but then he might. Matt is a master of fucking with people's heads. So I will give the great Matt Ryan his due because holy shit, I have no idea what he's doing.
AKA, and no pun intended, he's doing some very good ring psychology.
Yeah. He's playing that heel role real well right now.
Yes.
But shout out to him and Corey Hammond. They got another thing going on, a little project with each other. Sounds of the Game and everything that's going to be coming on, especially for this year. So at what capacity? I think Matt Ryan, he definitely has a love for this league. That's for sure. It's going to be hard to keep him away from it.
I think he'll be covering it in some way, shape, form, or fashion.
Oh yeah.
Because like I said, it's one of his favorite pastimes that he has done, and obviously, I know that he did not want to leave, but when you have a certain when you have something that you're standing for, sometimes the cause
gotta do what you gotta do.
the cause is much greater than than the job per se. So
Yeah,
he's fighting for his right and his beliefs, and I applaud him for that. I stand with him
absolutely.
for that because
That man deserves everything.
as I told him,
What he's done for the league as the voice of the A7 and everything else like that. I know it's going to be somebody else's the voice. No, no, no. Matt Ryan forever and ever, amen, will be the voice of the fucking A7 NFL. Nobody is looking. Nobody will be able to watch these games without hearing that man's voice. All these past rewind games, the championships, and everything else. All these big time, exciting championship games that have happened the last 4 years. When every single game, it can't get any better than this, then it does. Can't get any better than this, then it does. Can't get any better than this, then it does. Matt Ryan was there for all of that, so he is forever the voice of the league, in my opinion.
there is a reason why I affectionately call him the Jim Ross of A7.
By God, that man knows what he's doing. Yeah. So, again, I have all the, and if people hear it and hear me and go, oh, well, fuck you for saying that, but hey, you know what? Fine. If you couldn't take what I said, that constructive criticism about how you should probably handle yourself in the growth of this league probably ain't for you, to be honest with you. But again, I'm very passionate about the league. Derek Duncan, love him to death. I've never hated on that man a day in my life, never will. I respect that man for everything that he's done, not just for himself, but for the league and for everybody else too. That is a guy who will give his shirt off his back to help you. He is one of those good human beings that you want to see succeed.
If the league had a lot more owners like Derek Duncan, and I don't know how many times I have said this,
Yeah.
but here I am saying it again.
Yeah.
If we had owners that cared like him, the league would far off be better off than where it is right now, without question.
Yeah, and I think people should be taking cues from that. And Derek has gotten a lot of praise from people in the East too. That's how we know it's not bullshit. It's not just the West that's talking him up. It's the East as well. So everybody's got respect for him. Everybody knows Derek and how he handles himself and how he moves and everything like that. And people have a lot of respect for him. I would love to see him honestly take over the league, but that's me, and I don't know what the cost of that would be. I know it's, as far as from what I've heard from Matt, we're talking possibly seven figures that center would be asking for it, even though it's probably not worth that much, in all honesty. But at least right now, it can be. But it's one of those things that, again, I have an opinion on things. Everybody has opinion on things, but the fact that we're here trying to we have been trying to talk this league up and get it, to where we would like to see it. We've been doing this for 5+ years now, 6 years now in this stage, being able to give a platform to the players, to the coaches, to the owners, to everybody. And we love the league. We're passionate about the league. We want to see it succeed. So again, people can't take the constructive criticism, then hey, sorry. Have fun back in the 12th grade. People blowing smoke up your ass, and you're going to continue to be playing, A7FL football every once in a while, and then flag football. Outside of that, ain't none of y'all making the Olympic team. That's for damn sure. Some of you guys can go win tournaments, but.
And plus, I enjoy calling these games and still want to call them. So.
Oh yeah. I would love to call a game. I'm telling Derek too. It's like, hey, y'all gotta find a way to get us on the commentary, or we got to figure out something, because I've been dying to get on the commentary. So we'll have it. I don't want it to be to where the A7 has to come to the Northern California region for me to be able to commentate. I got to be able to commentate some of these games. I will figure it out some way, shape, or form. I know, hardest working man in the business, Mel Carey, is able to help with that as well. We've actually talked about it back and forth, so we can be able to make something happen. Derek, I'm here, man. I'm here. Center, I'm here. We got shit. We got stuff to give to this league. Let us help you. Let us be there for you. Don't push away people who want to see you succeed. What did Coach Zoe just say? Surround yourself with people with positive peer pressure. And that's what I think we are. Positive peer pressure. Now, we talk
Apply
shit.
the
For
pressure.
sure. For sure, we talk shit. We love to talk shit. But it's that shit talking and, like we said, that competitive banter. I'm not going to sit here and call anybody out of their name. I'm not going to sit here and call it. But if you do something that is what I like to call bitch made, I will state said bitch madeness. And we will put you in DJ Matt Six's, what's it called? The
Bitch ass Hall of Fame.
the bitch assness Hall of Fame. Yes.
Bitch ass Hall of
Bitch
Fame.
assness Hall of Fame. We can put you in
The BAHOF.
bitch assness Hall of Shame. That's where we're going with it. But again, like we want to see the league succeed. We're excited for the 15th coming up. I'm really excited to see what happens. Can the BIC repeat? Can the Insomniacs bounce back? Can the Animals take another step forward? Can the U recover and get better? Can the Renegades finally kind of take that step in the right direction of finally being a championship contender?
Can Sick finally get over that one last hurdle?
They're this close. They're this close.
They took it to the defending the eventual champions, even though the champions didn't have their full roster, but still, like I said,
they made it scary for the BIC for a second.
Yeah, like I said, Stone King played his best game in a loss.
That's still a hell of a name. That's still a hell of a name.
That's a football. That is a football name if there ever was one.
But there's a lot of stories. Like, I want to see the Hunters get better. Regardless of what happened with the gold this last week, I want to see the
Hunters win their first game in 3 years. It's been 3 years since the last time the Hunters have won a game.
Fuck, they're in that gold territory as well? Oh, shit, they were the ones that lost to the gold.
They were.
Oh, okay.
But they have not won a game since the 2023 season. And oddly enough, and I've said this before, their win was a comeback win after their coach got ejected. They had came back to win the game.
Does the coach need to get ejected every game now? What the hell?
I don't know, but something lit a fuse, and they came back and beat the Pit Bosses. And again, I will remember this for as long as I live. The whole team hopped the fence to go celebrate their win with their coach.
Yep.
That was one of the lasting images I will forever have. They hopped the fence at Bonanza High to go celebrate with their coach who got ejected and came back and won and beat the Pit Bosses. It was pretty entertaining. It was a very entertaining game, and just watching them play for the coach, and again to hop the fence to celebrate the coach is one of the lasting images I'll forever have covering this league. Hard to believe going into my 4th season now. That's wow.
Pretty wild. Pretty wild. So I mean, again, I just want to see everybody get better. I want to see the league get better. I want to see egos checked. I don't want to see excuses. I want to see good football, and I want to see the A7FL finally get the respect that it deserves.
We got some good matchups on week 1 too. I mean, we have Animals and Renegades.
That's gonna be a good one.
I mean, the UNBIC
Renegades defense is gonna give Tender a problem.
Yeah, I mean, and BIC never disappoints. Again, the very first game I ever did was a classic between Sick and the Insomniacs, week 1, 2023. So, first time since that they've opened the season against Stealth and the Hunters. See this new look Stealth team, and again the Phantoms, how they will do against the Heathens.
I mean, first year teams historically have not been. The Heathens have been kind of the only outlier in that so far. These last few years that I've seen, where first year teams are actually making noise. We'll see with the Phantoms. They've got why am I blanking on his name right now? QB
Keno Thomas.
Keno. Yeah, there we go. Keno's playing for the Phantoms. So they've got a good quarterback and everything in that sense.
He's just a
They got a
freakish
good
athlete,
foundation
period.
piece there.
He's a freakish athlete,
So
period.
yeah, he's just I think giving him the right opportunity, you're really going to see that guy shine. He's a really good player.
It would be amazing to actually see him. It would be amazing to actually see him in his natural position, which is wide receiver.
I mean, Derek has been trying to get him to Vegas for like the last 2-3 years now.
Well, he was supposed one season he was supposed to come out here and play for a team, but I guess something fell through and it didn't happen. But
it just didn't work out.
Also,
Keno's good. He's developing. He's getting better. He's learning and understanding the league a lot better, which you can tell in his play. I mean, the Crush were supposed to be nothing, and he came in and kind of turned that around. Now, the Crush didn't really do. If you look on paper, the Crush weren't great, but they were a lot better than what people were expecting them to be, and a lot of that was because of Keno Thomas.
I'm excited to see Jaden Webb come back to the league and see how he's going to help the stealth. Because I mean, he did some very good. He did some very good things when he played with the Force in 2024. So anxious to see how his return will help.
See how it all goes, but
yes.
it's going to be an exciting time, and this year, like we've said it before, 2026. We say it every year. It's going to be big this year. It's going to be big next year. We're just here to do big things, and like it says in the description, we only do it big time, especially on the 6-year anniversary show. And I appreciate everyone who was hanging out with us throughout from the beginning until now, hanging out with us with Coach Zoe. And then, once again, appreciate Coach Zoe always for being able to give a good amount of time to be able to come and talk with us and, kind of help shape and set up what the future for us is going to kind of look like when it comes to content that we're going to be able to do and accomplish with Coach Zoe. So I'm really excited to see that. And be a part of that. And 2026, it's February now. We got 10 more months to go, but let's make this year a positive one, a good one, a fun one. Appreciate everyone 6 years strong and going. And we're going to continue to do our thing, have a good time, and try to survive this Ramadan. And
so interesting 6 years. Yeah, usually we on here
try to survive
smoking, drinking. Yeah, we got water, Gatorade.
Yeah,
it's a dry 6 years, so catch us in about 3 more weeks.
It's been very interesting. It's a very interesting experience for sure. But there's a lot of cool things, like I said, and then of course Mizzle and Dub, two of the hardest working. They go damn near every day now, which is pretty impressive. They passed us a long time ago in episode count. With the amount of stuff they're doing, mornings, they're doing evenings, they're doing night owl, they're doing all the type of shit. Like so,
but
it's
not that I try to speak for Mizzle, because Mizzle can obviously speak his own mind. But for me and him, forever appreciative for the opportunity to collab with you guys. Of course, if it wasn't for JP reaching out to me 3 years ago when I first got into this A7 NFL, I never would have known about the All-Pro JAFFos. And thus, like I said, it's turned into a friendship, to a brotherhood, to now family. These last 3 years, getting to know these guys, and as Frank Sinatra said, the best is yet to come. So definitely from Mizzle and I, we definitely appreciate the kindred spirit that you guys have shown us, and of course, we always give that back to y'all. Like as we said in our show, they're recurring guests, but they're not guests. It's just recurring family. So that's just how we look at it. So definitely want to say to you guys, definitely appreciate you guys and love you guys, and not just you two, but also EJ, and also of course the big 6'10" monster from the southeast, Mr. Kendrick K. Can't forget about him. So definitely definitely appreciate you guys for showing you guys friendly to us, and as it says in the Bible, charity starts at home and then spreads abroad. So
absolutely
appreciative of the friendship and brotherhood that has been formed through this collaboration for the last 3 years. Looking forward to more years down the road with you guys.
Oh yeah, and I was telling Mazix before too. I was like 6 years, and we've had the opportunity to do a lot of really cool stuff, man. A lot of really cool stuff. So be able to we just do with the MRD Foundation, with the Heritage Bowl and everything. There's a lot of content. People, the followers and everything from that. We're getting closer and closer and closer to monetization. People, let's get to that 500 mark so we can start making some money off this shit. Been waiting too long. People have been taking too much of our shit. Fuck you, ESPN. God damn it. Like we haven't been getting the rub that we deserve. God damn it. So let's get that 500 mark. Let's get the monetization going. Let's be able to make this thing into something that we've always had the vision for it to be. We've been doing nothing but having a great time doing this. Like I said, 6 years strong, and I'm looking forward to the next 6 plus, that are going to be coming with it. Because again, this is just something that we love to do. We love to be able to have the experiences and be able to the family, the friendships and everything that we've been able to kind of develop through this whole thing, as well as our relationship with each other. Like me and Mastic, that he's my brother. Like I will do anything for that man. He knows I will do anything for him. So that relationship what's crazy, and I think people know this, but for those who don't, Mad Six gave me, or when I made the call or the call out to basically look for co-hosts for this show when we were first beginning, I had only known Mad Six. I met him one time at that point, and that was at the Gabby's Halloween party.
Mm-hmm.
I had met him at that point. I only talked to him that day and everything. But when I made that call, he put it out there. Hey, I'm down to do it. This, and that. We got together, and we've been chilling, having a good time. Anything outside of this, we hang out at each other's houses, having a smoke and everything together and all that other kind of stuff, and traveling together, all the stuff that we've been able to do, like this whole thing, this whole project and stuff that has been the All-Pro JAFFOs, and it's evolved into JAFFOs TV, which has added more content with the botched initiative, and Match Six is going to hopefully be getting a couple more episodes of indie vibes coming out soon. Still trying to get EJ to get goddamn gaming shit up with us, so we can be able to add more content in that sense. So the evolution of what this has become it's just been awesome, and I've been so happy being able to. And I know consistency. People like, oh, you guys should be going on. Again, we got lives, we got 9 to 5s, we got other things that we got to do. I would love to be on every day. I would love to be, at all the time. But things that we got to do. But see, here's the thing. We get to that monetization point, we can start doing things more often every day, getting more content and stuff like that out there. So, be a friend, tell a friend, let everybody know. Go get those subscriber numbers up. When you go to the social media, we're close to 1,000 close to 1,000 on Instagram. I think in total, when it comes to followership throughout all social medias, we're a little over 2,000, which is cool, which is awesome. We can get more for sure, but again, I'm not in the business of buying followers. This is all organic. This is all word of mouth. This is all everybody. Again, be a friend, tell a friend. It takes you less than a minute to subscribe, to follow, and to share. It's literally 3 buttons that are right next to each other that you can actually do.
And turn on your notifications to be informed when they're going live.
Live.
Because again, we've got a lot of good stuff, people. A lot of the stuff that we've talked about has ended up on the big time. Trust me. We've got a lot of insight. We've got people on, Dub, the encyclopedia. We get Mizzle. We've got guests. We've got all the stuff that comes into the show that I think a lot of people are kind of underestimating. And I think what we got here is really something special. And we wouldn't be here 6 years strong without that. So
And again,
once again, get there. Subscribe.
We have shirts in our shop that says, "But what do we know?"
Right? Go to JaffosTV.com, go MizzleandDubShow.com, merchandise and everything. That's another great way to be able to help out the program. Subscribe, follow, share, like. You guys know what to do. The Jaffo Army has been awesome. You guys have been the organic growth that we've had. So it's everybody who has been here from the very beginning. Fucking love you guys, appreciate you guys, and let's continue to grow that community, and let's continue to be able to have a good fucking time on this show. So, once again, 6-year anniversary. Love it. Coach Zoe, appreciate it. Dub, appreciate it as always, sir.
Yes, sir.
The greatest of all time, Mr. DJ Matchsticks. The bad guy, JP. We will see you guys again next time. Deuces.
Peace.